So you're thinking of moving here to the great state of Texas, but you haven't quite decided which city is going to be top of your list. Well, in our channel, we usually like to discuss all things living here in the DFW metro, but we have been getting quite a few inquiries on our opinion on the city of Austin. Should they move to Dallas? What do we think of Austin? Which one would be right for you? Well, we do want to kind of give our own personal opinion here on the good, the bad, the differences, the pros, the cons, maybe some things that you might not have thought about before making that move here to one of these particular cities. So, of course, if you do have any other questions, that's why we're here. Reach out, ask those questions, and let us see how we can help. And ultimately, if Austin is going to be the perfect fit for you, don't hesitate to reach out as well because we do partner with agents all around the country. And I specifically have some really good friends down in the Austin area that could help you out. So that's what we're here for, to answer your questions and to help you find the best possible fit for you. So let's dive into it. Dallas versus Austin. Which one is going to be right for you? Well, of course, let's talk about the size. How big are these cities? Where are they located? And maybe some of the things that make each of these cities attractive. Well, of course, the city of Austin is much smaller than the city of Dallas. It is now just over around 2 million people. And the city of Dallas is now ranked number 4 in the entire country, and it has over 7 million people in the entire Dallas-Fort Worth metro. So it's significantly bigger. Now, do you like bigger? Do you like more opportunities? Do you like more selection, more variety? Well, Dallas may be right for you. But down in the city of Austin, there's a lot of great things going for it as well. Now, first, let's talk about the median price point of homes. Well, because of the size of Dallas and how big, how spread out it is coming in with a median price point of around $418,000. But down in the city of Austin or the Austin metro area, the median price point is around $574,000. So it is significantly different, but also it's because Dallas is a lot more spread out. You have more opportunity to get out into the suburbs a little bit and find some more affordable housing. And Austin isn't nearly as spread out as Dallas, and so the price points are kept relatively high. It doesn't mean that you can't find some areas that might have some lower price point homes. You just have a lot more variety in the Dallas metro area. Of course, we do always say you have to weigh where the location is. Yes, you may be moving here because you get to work from home, but maybe your significant other or somebody else might be looking for a job when they get here. So moving to the right spot in both of these cities is going to be vitally important, especially because of the traffic. Now, because Dallas is so large, if you're going to be living up in the northeast side of the Dallas area and you might be working closer to Fort Worth, well, you could be seeing a significant time that you will be spending in your car just to get from one side of the metro to the other. So down in Austin, you're going to have other problems when it comes to traffic. Well, back in the day, Austin was a little bit more of a sleepy college town. The University of Texas in Austin is right in downtown Austin. It's where the Longhorns are. If you love orange, it's definitely a great college to check out, especially if you're super smart. It's also where the state capital of Texas is, right there in downtown Austin. But the problem with that, as Austin has continued to grow, as a lot of these big companies have moved here to the Austin area and even the Dallas area, Austin has grown so significantly that the infrastructure down in the Austin area hasn't been able to keep up. So as they're talking about, there's construction all the time, the roadways are continuing to be built. Well, it's almost kind of like every single roadway is under construction. So to get from one end to the other, you really do kind of need to factor in how long you might be sitting in your car. And it doesn't mean that construction is going to happen forever, even though everybody says that it seems to be taking forever down in Austin. But just kind of recognizing that even though the infrastructure isn't quite there yet and they're continuing to work on it, it could still be a really long time before they have built out enough of the infrastructure to keep up with the demand of the population that has been growing down in the Austin area. Now, we do talk about the traffic in the Dallas area. Yes, there's always these roads and areas that are under construction, but Dallas is continuing to spread in every direction. So while some freeways are continuing to expand, some freeways have already expanded, and there's kind of a lot more options in getting around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We do have a number of toll roads, which of course, not super great for a lot of people because those tolls can add up, especially if you're having to commute on a regular basis. But we do have multiple options in those roadways and a lot more ways that you can get all around the Dallas-Fort Worth metro. So yes, traffic is awful. And even though you think the Dallas-Fort Worth metro is much bigger, it would have a lot more traffic problems. Well, in fact, down in Austin, they're having a lot more difficulty with the traffic down in that particular area. But as you're thinking of the type of lifestyle that you want to enjoy, where you're coming from, or what you're hoping to get when you move here to Texas, maybe you're moving from the West Coast and you prefer to get away from the more liberal values that they have out west, and you're hoping to get some more conservative values when you move here to the middle of Texas. Well, the conservative values you're probably going to have a little bit better bet in the Dallas area. Austin is known for being a lot more liberal, a lot of the Californians, because of all the tech jobs that have been relocating to the Austin area. So you're definitely going to see a lot more liberal people down in the Austin area. It doesn't mean that the Dallas area isn't kind of getting a little bit more of that balanced area, but you're typically going to see a lot more of the Democratic, liberal type lifestyle in more of the metropolitan downtown areas. And as you get further out into the suburbs, it's going to start leaning a little bit more on the conservative side. So you're going to certainly see a lot more conservative people up in the Dallas area versus the Austin area. And you're probably going to see that because people typically envision the Dallas metro area as being a little bit more truly Texan, as you will. I mean, back in the day when, I think my grandparents were watching TV shows. If anybody remembers the Dallas TV show that was on, that's up here in the North Dallas area where that was all shot. And if you're down and around the downtown Dallas area, like the Highland Park area or Preston Hollow, and even some of the neighborhoods in downtown Fort Worth, you're going to see some of these big estates and that old money and the people who have truly lived here for a really long time. But down in Austin, it doesn't mean that you're not going to find some of that, but it's just truly what people say a little bit more Texan as you are up in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. When you still kind of think about the lifestyle and the type of people that are living in the different areas, when you are up in Dallas, it's going to be, we'll call it a little bit more on the professional side. A lot more suits, button-up shirts and ties, a little bit more professional, as you will. And when you get down into Austin, we're going to probably see a little bit more of that hipster, younger, laid back vibe, especially for a lot of the people that are working down there. So certainly two different types of atmospheres and demographics that you're going to see between the different cities. Austin typically leans to a little bit more of the younger crowd, and they try to say maybe around 35 and under. Doesn't mean that there aren't older people that live down in the Austin area, but up in Dallas, it's a lot more conservative, a little bit more buttoned up, and people who've been around a little bit longer in the Dallas area. So just something to kind of think about: younger versus older, more hipster versus more conservative. And certainly you'll feel that vibe if you have been to either of these particular cities. So when you're also kind of thinking about what does it feel like? What does it look like? And what type of vibe am I going to feel by going and moving into these two particular areas? Well, down in Austin, like I said, it's a little bit smaller, but I guess it would probably lean a little bit more towards the outdoorsy type, the touristy type, the people who like to get out and enjoy being outdoors. Do you want to go to the San Marcos River? Do you want to head out west to the hill country? And yes, they call it hill country out here, but it really is beautiful. It's not like the mountains where you go up into the mountains and you can enjoy the cooler weather. Just know it's a little bit more of the feeling of being out in nature with some rolling hills and Lake Travis out there in the Austin area. There are multiple lakes in Austin as well as in the Dallas metro area, but in Austin you can go paddleboarding and kayaking right along Lady Bird Lake right in downtown Austin. And in Dallas, White Rock Lake is closer to downtown, but you're not really going to be swimming in it. You can probably take your kayaks out, but it's not really that type of a lake. But there are multiple lakes all throughout the DFW metro area that you can go out and enjoy. You can take your boats out, you can take your paddle boards out, and you'll see people swimming in all of these lakes and truly enjoying the lake life when you are living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Of course, you do have both options in both areas. You're just going to have a lot more of it in the Dallas area. But at the same time, when you are down in Austin, you have a lot more of that outdoorsy life with hiking and biking and a lot of people that truly love to be outdoors a little bit more than what we have found in the Dallas area. Doesn't mean you're not going to see people out walking the trails and walking their dog and finding some beautiful areas in the Dallas area. It's just not really known to be as popular as it is down in the Austin area. So I would like to hear your comments if you have been to both. I'm sure I'm going to get lit up for some people who, have their own particular opinions about that, but it doesn't mean that you can't be outdoors. Just some people love certain things versus other particular areas. But also when you are down in Austin, I will probably say that I enjoy the scenery down there a little bit more than I do in the Dallas area, because Dallas is certainly a lot more flat than it is down in Austin. Yes, the state of Texas is pretty flat unless you are further out west, but you're going to get more of that urban feel when you can see the skyscrapers and you can see the downtown areas of not only Dallas and Fort Worth, but even up in the Plano area as well. A lot of areas that do feel a little bit more urban, and you can see, the tops of the trees outside, but down in the Austin area, it just has a little bit more of a different feel and a laid back attitude and a laid back lifestyle by being down in the Austin area. Now, let's talk a little bit about jobs. Obviously, with Texas not having any state income tax, a lot of companies have continued to move here to the state of Texas. Now, Austin is certainly known for being one of those hubs of having a lot of tech industries moving in down there. You have companies like IBM, Oracle, Dell, Tesla, but you also have companies like Kendra Scott and Whole Foods who've made their headquarters in the Austin area. And up in the Dallas area, you have companies like AT&T, Texas Instruments, Toyota, Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, Capital One, and Frito-Lay. So you can get a lot of options in both cities, but Austin really is truly known for being a little bit more tech-based than the Dallas area is. Dallas also has a lot of finance and healthcare industries that have moved in as well. But those are the types of industries that are leaning towards these particular cities. So you're going to have a lot more job opportunities in the Dallas area, but depending on what it is that you're looking for and what type of a lifestyle that you're looking for could really kind of be determined on which city that would be right for you. Now let's talk a little bit about travel. Well, based on the locations of both cities, if you're down in Austin, it does lean a little bit easier towards getting into San Antonio and Houston. And if you do like the beach, not that I would ever recommend heading over to Galveston, but heading down further south towards places like Corpus Christi and South Padre Island will be a little bit nicer of a beach. And it's certainly going to be easier to get to by living in Austin versus the city of Dallas. They do have an airport in the Austin area that does fly all over the country. So Dallas does have two airports. The DFW airport is where American Airlines and Delta and United, for example, fly out of. And they also have Love Field, which is closer to downtown. And that is where the Southwest Airlines hub is. So travel opportunities in Dallas are certainly going to be a lot better if you're flying out of the Dallas airport, out of the Dallas area, than it is going to be flying out of the Austin area. But also, say you don't necessarily want to head south where it's even hotter than it is in Austin and Dallas in the summertime. Well, it is certainly a much quicker drive to drive up into Oklahoma and rent one of the beautiful cabins up there where it is a little bit cooler, or even drive up into Arkansas and over into Louisiana and up into Kansas City, because you are further north into the state of Texas. So travel is certainly different from both areas, but just depending on what it is that you're looking for. If you do need to fly and travel a lot more often, Dallas may be a much better opportunity for you than the Austin area. Now, let's talk a little bit about things to do, because I'm not sure about you, but when you move somewhere that's warm and that you can be outdoors most of the year, what is it that is going to fit your lifestyle? Austin is known for having a great music scene. They have a couple of great music festivals. They have a great downtown area, pub crawls, bar crawls, beer. They are really known for a lot of their food scene. That's where a lot of the food trucks get their start. And you can find food trucks on pretty much every corner when you are down in the Austin area. We have found some phenomenal food trucks, which have turned into restaurant chains and just some great dining opportunities and different dining opportunities down in Austin. Granted, then you move up into the Dallas area, and we have loved the food scene up there, but there are certainly a lot of options for food up in the Dallas area as well. We have had from high-end dining to just, your little mom and pop shops, little hole in the walls, but we have found ethnic food of every variety in the Dallas area, and we have absolutely loved that too. So depending on what your dining style is and what it is that you like to be adventurous with, you can certainly find multiple opportunities for food in both areas, but I would say they're definitely different. So something to think about if you're a true foodie. But also when we're talking about entertainment, what do you like to do? Are you heavily into sports? Well, there's pretty much just one no-brainer out there, and that is going to be moving up to the Dallas area. Every major sports team is represented in the Dallas area, from obviously the Dallas Cowboys football team, the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Mavericks basketball team, the Dallas Stars hockey team, as well as multiple minor league teams in the Dallas area. In fact, it's never ending. There's always a game to be played, a game to go watch, from FC Dallas to minor league basketball, baseball, and hockey as well. So you can find so many options for sporting events in the Dallas metro area. And that also goes for sports that your kids can play too. And down in Austin, I do hear that they have a new minor league team down there, but that's pretty much it pretty much it, unless you can go down to San Antonio and you're a basketball fan and you want to go check out the San Antonio Spurs. So, sports, 100% no brainer, moving up to Dallas versus what you're going to find down in Austin. But maybe you like some cultural activities. Well, if you want to take your kids to the zoo, you have the Dallas Zoo and the Fort Worth Zoo. If you love museums, if you love the symphony, and don't forget, I mean, even though it only happens once a year, the Texas State Fair is based out of Dallas as well. You can find a lot of music scene and different cultural things down in the Austin area, but nothing like it's going to compare up in the Dallas metro area. Dallas also does have a fairly decent music scene that we have gone and enjoyed a little bit of if you're down in downtown Dallas in the Deep Ellum area. But truly, to go down for these big music festivals, South by Southwest, and Austin City Limits, those are going to be down in Austin, and they're truly fantastic, and they go on for multiple days. But we will say, living up in Dallas, if you want something to do, if you need an activity, somewhere to go take your kids, whether it's a food festival, an art show, a hot air balloon festival, a music festival, you're going to find it all throughout the DFW area. It seems every little city puts on a 4th of July celebration and some sort of beer fest, art fest, or Grape Fest down in Grapevine. So many options for things to do if you are in Dallas. In fact, we've had clients who have come into town and have said, hey, what do you think would be good to go and check out? And we can really pull up a list any month, any weekend out of the year and find multiple opportunities. And not to mention here in the Dallas area, even though we have all of these opportunities for sports, we also have Six Flags. We also have tons and tons of different water parks. We have Hurricane Harbor, which is the sister water park to Six Flags, and Hawaiian Falls, multiple locations all throughout the Dallas area. And we're starting to find a lot of smaller communities that do have these water parks that you can go take your family to, and because of the heat that we have here in the great state of Texas. So no matter what it is that you are looking to do, what's right for you? Are you more into culture? Are you looking for a great job scene or an outdoor scene? Or, just want to get out and enjoy nature, which city is going to be right for you? Well, that is entirely up to you. But of course, that's what we're here for. If you have any questions at all, you have any comments, you have any suggestions, or some things that you want to run by us that we may have heard of, don't hesitate to reach out. Let us help answer those questions. Let us help see what we can do to have you make that smooth move here to whether it's the Dallas area or the Austin area. And we would be more than happy to discuss. And until next time, take care.